Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Noah Unleashed. If you are new here, hi, I'm Melball. I like to watch Japanese professional wrestling, and this is Noah Unleashed, a show where I talk about my favorite show in Japan right now, which is pro wrestling. Noah, if you're not new here, hi. Welcome back to the glorious, glorious chaos that is Malball. I'm going on very little sleep in case you couldn't tell from the bags under my eyes. I've been filming a lot this weekend. I woke up at 3 a.m. to talk about the show that I am about to talk about right now. But before we get into that, I need you guys to like the video, subscribe to OLE, and turn on the notifications before you leave so that you can be alerted every time we drop a new video because we got a fun show to talk about today. We got tag titles in the main event with Los Golpeadores taking on Team 2000 Access Tadasuke and Owadasan, which was a banger. We had a bunch of stories being built upon between Yohei and Hayata, between Ozawa and Kano. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start with match one, and match one was a six-man tag match that featured this. We're off to a great start. Six-man tag match featuring Team Noah, which was the team of Mohamed Yone, Atsushi Kotoge, and Hajime Ohara, taking on another kind of interesting hoshbosh team here of Eita, Shuji Kondo, and Calibus. So wanted to start off by just mentioning Eita's been going through some character changes lately, and I'm kind of here for it. He's kind of mucking with the camera, kind of looking at it and staring it down and everything. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying seeing the new kind of change in character. I also saw that they released a video recently, like a thank you video. I'll see if I can grab a clip of it and pop it up in here. But for whatever reason, like Eita was wearing a towel on his head when it was filmed. I was kind of like, what in the heck? It's funny. It's interesting, different from everybody. But anyway, let's go. What I wanted to bring up with that was that I thought that it was really cool that he's doing interesting things to still kind of keep himself relevant despite not being in an active feud right now, it seems. So I also wanted to mention Kotoge is kind of building on his look that he was kind of evolving into when he was wrestling and feuding with Yohei there. Still rocking the pink hair, less facial hair. I don't know how he like Benjamin buttoned, but he looks far younger now than when I first started watching him back in December. It's a very interesting thing that Kotoge is kind of unlocked there. If you follow him on social media, he does kind of track his kind of sort of eating habits, I guess. He's trying to be healthy. So let's get into the match right now. We're going to talk about a few notable spots that happened in this one, which included Eita messing with Yone with his own little disco taunt before Muhammad Yone was able to kind of shoulder block him down and taunt him back with his own actual taunt. There was a drop toe hold by Kotoge. Oh, my notes went crazy there. Match one, there we go. Drop toe hold by Kotoge on Kondo, followed by a jumping headbutt to the back. There was a disco drummer team move that I called, which is essentially, if you know New Japan, it was the chaos kind of war drums on the back of the opponent, which they did onto, I believe it was Calibus. I didn't write down who it got done to, but it was a disco drummer boy team move by Team Noah. I was going to say Team 2000X. That is not the right team. There was a really cool, I don't know what to call it. I just called it a boinky boinky arm drag where Calibus hit the ropes corner, side, flip it out. It looks really cool. It was very, very smooth. There was a running knee by Kotoge into a muy bien by Ohara, but that is broken up by Eita and Calibus. The finish comes here with Eita and Kondo singling out and picking apart Ohara with kicks and stuff before Kondo is able to hit a massive inside out lariat for the win. This was a fun way to open the show. It was very high energy. There wasn't really any kind of it seemed like a plot going in. They kind of just made something up as they went. They had a lot of fun. Shuji Kondo and Eita worked very well with Calibus, and of course Yone, Kotoge, and Ohara, all a very well-oiled unit in Noah. Really, really fun way to open up the show. So we're gonna go into match number 2, and this was a three-way match between Tetsuya ENdo, Black Mensore, and Super Crazy. Uh, this was the funny match. And I had a lot of fun with it. And what I like about all the wrestlers involved is that all of them, again, they have that tendency that they can do the silly stuff, but they can also be very serious, which we've seen Tetsuya Endo do when he was a part of Team 2000X. There was one point in the beginning, Mensore is kind of avoiding getting into the match and just kind of like watching Super Crazy and Endo, and then at one point they kind of ended up in a standoff, and Mensore just kind of, yeah, I'm involved. Really, really funny little spot in there. A few notable spots where Endo and Mensore going back and forth with the za strikes, but ending with Mensore being yeeted by Endo. Endo did his double handspring kick to Crazy and Mensore. There was the bench press reversals where Endo and Super Crazy were just kind of yeeting Black Mensore back and forth a little bit there. Really, really funny little thing. The finish though came with the double stomp to Mensore into a waiting Endo. So Mensore jumped and did the double stomp, kind of rolled. Endo grabbed him, puts on a or it feeds him into his powerbomb backbreaker on the knee, and then feeds him into a Boston Crab for the win, which Mensore taps almost immediately. And didn't seem satisfied with that. Put him in an STF a couple more times, just for good measure, just for the halibut. I'm here for it. Here for it. I loved it. This was a really fun way to kind of carry on from the first match. Really fun way to still kind of showcase every wrestler's strength in this one, because Mensuri is definitely known for that kind of silly stuff, but he still does really, really well in hanging with someone like Tetsuya Endo and Super Crazy. So we're going to go into match number 3, and this was a really fun match. It was Daiki versus Daiki. Daiki Odashima taking on Daiki Inaba. This was really, really interesting, fun match. The crowd at first chanting for Daiki, realizing they didn't know which Daiki they were chanting for. So we started hearing the Inabas and the Odashimas, which was really funny because I don't usually hear that when either or of those guys are wrestling. Very, very focused though. These guys were ready to go. Um, so yeah, some notable points in this one. Odashima hitting Inaba with all his might, hit after hit after hit after hit, hitting the ropes as well. But Inaba able to stand through all of it. Inaba serving a back shoulder tackles to Odashima in the corner, followed by the bridge over the knee. So he just kind of just Batman Bane broke him over his knee and just kind of held him there for a little bit. Odashima able to escape eventually, though. Odashima hitting Inabi with every inch of his soul, man. He was throwing everything he had into his kicks, into his punches. He still just wouldn't go down for him, though. We got a fireman press gut buster by Inaba to Odashima, and then Odashima managed to grab his gut wrench suplex and then follows it up with his crossbody from the heavens, because holy crap does he get height on that one. The finish comes though with Inaba locking in a reverse lock Boston Crab, and then submitting Odashima. This we typically see, it was definitely like the crab, but facing a different way. Looked just as painful. Obviously, Odashima tapped out. It just is. This was a really fun match. I really enjoyed seeing these two guys go on, and it really kind of helps Inaba with his kind of story of struggle that he's kind of having right now, and the frustrations that his tag partner Amanda Busoya is having with him, and that in their tag matches and multi-man matches, he's starting to pick up the wins. He's starting to kind of be the reason why they're taking the losses. So I'm this was a nice way for them to kind of give him the step back in that right direction to start climbing back up the hill of wins, which I think he's going to need if he wants to keep justifying holding on to those titles. So we're going to go into match number 4, and this was an 8-man tag match that saw All Rebellion and the combination of Kaito Kiyomiya, Alejandro, Kai Fujimura, and Galeno taking on the team of Will Kroos, Naomichi Marufuji, Amaska, and Junta Miyawaki. I have been waiting so patiently to see Will Kroos tested some more, and this was a test, and man, we got some fun stuff out of this one, so let's get into it. A few notable moves including Kroos tossing Kiyomiya like a rag doll for the first part of this match, which was crazy. You don't typically see the ace of the company, if you will, kind of being yeeted around. Galeno strongmanning Marufuji around and then hitting his little neck snap spot with the crowd. There was a second rope plancha by Miyawaki to Fujimura on the outside. The All Rebellion quadruple drop kick in the corner to Miyawaki. Amaska with that just missile-like missile-like tope suicida to the outside. I didn't write down who he was hitting, but I believe it was Alejandro. One was the smaller guys. It was either Fujimura or Alejandro. Kroos and Galeno slamming into each other like trucks, followed by All Rebellion trying but failing to drop Will Kroos and Alejandro eating all of the senton from Will Kroos. So the finish comes with Kroos hitting his pile driver on Alejandro for the win. Vicious, and sudden end for this match, considering how sassy Alejandro came into this one too. After the match, Kroos getting the match and kind of giving us the 4 things that he loves about Japan, or is just loving in general, and challenges for the GHC National Championship held by Galeno. I'm here for this. I am so excited for that. Yes, give me all of that. The little taste, the smack rolls that we got in this match is going to pale in comparison to what are going to get. And Galeno did accept. I'm just waiting on the official poster to get it up there. If it's out, I'll put it up there with the date. Blur. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm here for this. Let's freaking go. So we're going to move on to match number 5, and that was a tag team match featuring the Passionate Retells taking on Passionate Retells. It was the team of Hayata and Saxon Huxley taking on Manabu Soya and Yohei. And when I tell you I was feeling all the confliction and all of the emotions, this was a roller coaster of like not knowing who to cheer for, except for like everyone, and just yay, yay, yay. My first note was this feels so weird. And it was very weird. We saw Yohei try to do the handshake at the start, which was met, but not met eventually. So a few notable spots to talk about was the passionate test of strength between Huxley and Soya. You gotta love those two when they get together. Just Huxley at one point pushing Soya down, which is really, really funny. Showdown between Hayata and Yohei, where Yohei tosses the champion into the corner, hitting the shoulder on the post, takes him out to the outside. You could see them battling around in front of the camera at one point. Meanwhile, Huxley and Soya just, yeah, Jordan sir, from the inside. Good times. Good times. Oh gosh, not good times. I was stressed. Soya and Huxley having the great strongman exchange at one point. They're showing off their strength. But we come into the finish. We got Yohei and Hayata in the ring. they're going back and forth, just kind of, reversing everything. Who knows each other better than your tag team partner? And these guys have been tag team partners for a good long hot minute. But the finish comes. A Hayata, sneaking in that O'Connor roll. On Yohei, catching that win. We've been seeing. I'm not mad about it, but it's a little naughty. And Yohei's been pretty straight and narrow, but Hayata using the ropes to pin Ishikawa for that hardcore title, and now the kind of, tossing Yohei into the post, doing what he needs to. I'm calling for Hayata 2 belts for the summer, but like not like this, not like this, Hayata. So we're gonna move on to match number 6, which is another match that kind of expanded on some story here, where we saw a 6-man tag match between Team 2000X, which was the combination of Ozawa, Daga, and Takashi Sugiura taking on Noah's 3 Raja, Keno, Kenta, and Ulka Sasaki. Um, There was a little moment right when Ozawa was coming in where he showed the title because the way the announcer announces is he announces the title first and then like GHC World Heavyweight Champion Ozawa. When he announced the belt, Ozawa turned around and just displayed the belt and then went back around and did his actual pose. And I had a moment where it was like very early in the morning, and I thought that was the most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. So some notable moments in this match: Ozawa recording a beatdown of himself in Keno, where he's kind of beating down Keno, and Keno is kind of crawling towards him. If you don't follow him on social media, go ahead and follow him on social media because he posted these videos, and I believe Noah might have reshared them. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check on that, but the videos of Keno getting beaten up in this match are online for your viewing enjoyment. Yeah. Anyway, Daga and Sasaki. I feel like Daga, we know him for his lucha, absolutely, but when he gets into that ring with Sasaki, oh my gosh, he becomes Daga, the MMA guy, and we are watching a sparring match. It is so good, so top tier, and it locks in Sasaki almost immediately for the match. I feel like with Sasaki, the first few minutes of the match really depend on how well he's going to kind of be focused in for the rest of the match. Start him with Daga all the time, please. It ends up so perfect. So there's chaos on the outside as Team 2000X kind of pulls everyone out and starts beating everybody around. Shenaniganisms. Back in the ring, Ozawa locking Kenta into the ropes and really going in for that lick on the ropes there. Really, really funny. There was one point where Daga removes his shirt to choke on who was it? I believe it was Kenta. Um, and the screams that came from the ladies in the crowd was hilarious, quickly drowned out by the boos as Kenta was being choked with the shirt that he removed. Um, Ozawa licking Keno now, and then following up with a shotgun dropkick in the corner, followed by his missile dropkick in the center of the ring there. Keno, though, coming back, locking on his Keno special on Ozawa, but Ozawa is able to kind of sneakily grab the ref down and kind of put him in a bit of a headlock, which initiates Tatsu coming in and attacking Keno, and Sugiura comes in, hitting everybody else with the chair, um, freeing up Ozawa from the lock, the Keno special. So the end here, we're gonna go into the end. Ozawa locks in Keno's own Keno special, gets the cell phone again, starts recording himself with Keno, in the Keno special. Really, really funny. At one point, he goes into the corner and kind of stands up the phone, but then Tatsu does come in and grab it to kind of make sure it's still being recorded properly. But at which point, Ozawa goes for the real rebel and picks up the win. Oh man, I love this faction. I love this glorious chaos. They are such an upset in this locker room, and just having the one heel faction seems to be just enough for Noah, and it seems to be they're going to be expanding very soon. It looks like we have an ex-member, a secret member, who's going to be joining Team 2000X in the next little while. So I'm excited to see who they are managing to rope in with them. Going to be very beneficial, hopefully, for everybody. But yeah, this faction is it's chaos personified, and I kind of love it. So we're going to go into the final match, which is our main event of the evening, which features Los Golpeadores taking on Team 2000X, Tadasuke and Owadasan for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. I can barely say that one time fast, let alone 10. Let's get into it, you guys, because I got more details for this match because it is a title match than anything else. Hopefully, it doesn't double the time of the video for you guys, though. So, I really like Dragon Bane's outfit in this one. That white and kind of silver metallic kind of overlay on it looked really, really sharp. Jumpstart by Team 2000X. I was really surprised about that, though. Back in the ring, though, Tadasuke tries to he tries to pin Bane. Yeah, he tries to do a roll up on him. Bane prevents it. However, Owadasan does come in and try to grab on the mask, only to be headbutted by Alpha Wolf, who comes in to rescue his brother. So there's a double team on Owadasan where Owadasan tries to reverse it, but Dragon flips over his brother, who then pump kicks Owadasan in the face, and then Dragon Bane follows up with a pop-up drop kick to Owadasan. So Tatsu, preventing the double, what I assume would have been the double tope con hilos that Los Golpeadores does. However, Tatsu grabs the ankle and drags out Dragonbane, and unfortunately, Alpha Wolf crashes out on the other side and kind of gets beat up a little bit. So the team tearing at the masks of Los Golpeadores and like damn near scalping Alpha Wolf. He just ripped it right off from the eye holes. It was a little bit of a problem, kind of flipping throughout the match. But let me tell you, Alpha Wolf managed to keep that thing at least half on, very Doki style, very, very, very much it worked. So yeah, Dragonbane did get a bit of the top here kind of torn off, but not nearly as much as Alpha Wolf. There's one point where Owadasan is choking with the tape, and Tadasuke ends up coming in, whipping Dragonbane into the corner, doing the Dermis Destroyer. Owadasan even rubbing his butt in Dragonbane's face until Dragonbane drops Owadasan, hits him with a PK, and then a standing moonsault to tag out. However, the ref was distracted by something in Team 2000X's corner, so he did not see that tag in. It did not stop Alpha Wolf from coming in, though, because Alpha Wolf does come in and does everything possible to keep his mask on and still manages to do all of his moves. He ends up ejected by the ref, though, and while they're arguing with each other, Team 2000X does set up Dragonbane for that kind of Dudley-esque, what's up, baby shark do into Dragonbane's balls. Not the best move, but fun. That's fun. There was a the chomp, the Dudley chop. Okay, there was a no hand handspring. It was fancy, and he had no hands, Mom. It worked out so perfectly. Double kick to the double team of the head scissor to Tadasuke, and then drop kicks to Owadasan. I don't know what I was writing there. Double kick, head scissors. Oh, okay. So, yeah, we're going to try that again. Dragonbane does that no handspring double kick to Team 2000X, followed by the double team of Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane with the head scissors, and then the drop kicks. I noticed Robert Martyr in the crowd at this point. Not going to bring too much attention to him, but it made me happy to see. So there was a double team by Los Golpeadores, which saw Dragon Bane hit a Death Valley roll. Alpha Wolf follows up with a top rope moonsault, and then Dragon Bane hits a moonsault off of Alpha Wolf's shoulders for 2. These guys are insane. They're so good, but they're insane. It's a good insane. So suplexes back and forth by Alpha Wolf and Tadasuke, and holy heckin' crap, Tadasuke. Muscles up Alpha Wolf for that suplex. Really impressive. Owadasan with some really nasty strikes to Dragon Bane before Dragon Bane hits a power bomb on him. So everyone starts popping off their stuff at this point. Owadasan with a jawbreaker on Dragon Bane, Alpha Wolf with a nom nom headbutt to Owadasan, a pump kick from Tadasuke to Alpha Wolf, a springboard back elbow from Dragon Bane to Tadasuke, and then a fisherman hook spinning suplex by Owadasan on Dragon Bane. Everybody's all over the place. It was chaos, and I loved it. So, Team 2000X ends up taking out the ref, but Owadasan still eats a top rope Spanish fly from Dragon Bane. Tadasuke hits Dragon Bane, it hits Dragon Bane with a chair, and then Owadasan does backslide him, but Alpha Wolf does come in to break it up. There was a pile driver by Tadasuke, followed by a fisherman hook suplex by Owadasan for 2 on Dragon Bane. A top rope Spanish fly, followed by a moonsault by Wolf, who immediately gets up and hits a tope con hilo on Tadasuke on the outside, and Black Mensore. Saw the little snake gaggle flying. So, finish comes after all of that as Alpha Wolf is flying to the outside into the loving arms of Black Mensore and Tadasuke. Finish comes with Dragon Bane hitting the Santa Maria on Owadasan for the win and retaining their titles. And I was so happy. I know I woke up my neighbor. I got a little angry thud at one point during this match. I don't care. It was worth it. This match was so good. This was all the energy I needed. It showed off exactly why the champions are the champions, and it showed off that kind of dastardly evilness that Team 2000X has kind of become known to kind of do, with the stealing of the masks beforehand, the taunting online of them, pretending to fish with Dragon Bane's hat or going to a casino and wearing it at the slots. Like, they were having a lot of fun with this feud. They set this up really, really well, to a point where I wasn't sure if Los Golpeadores was going to come out on top on here. But I am so dang happy that they did, and I look forward to see who challenges next for these guys. So that brings us to the end of the show. I think this is the quickest I've ever been able to get through one of these shows. Let's see if I can keep that up in the future. What did you guys think, though? Did you guys get to take in this Sunny Voyage show, which was a 20th anniversary show? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you get to take in Los Golpeadores retaining over Team 2000X? Yes! Did you guys enjoy seeing Yohei and Hayata face off again? Are they better enemies or are they better friends? Are they going to be frenemies? I guess we'll have to wait and see how that kind of plays out. Again, Hayata kind of shows naughty, not niceness in their little feud there, and who knows the impact that it could eventually have on Passionate Retells as a whole. Let's hope it doesn't, because those are my boys. They're the only guys that I like more than Team 2000X. So that'll being said, guys, that brings us to the end of our show today. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to OLE, and comment down below if you have any questions or anything that you think that I would want to see or talk about on Strong Style Chronicles. Let me know. Holla at me. Holla at me. At least I only messed up my language at the beginning and the end of the video. So, guys, if you want a daily dose of Melball, you can catch me on that X thing at Collins Melball. You can catch me on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. That all being said, you guys, I am your Mel. Matane. Mwah.